Oh. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's March 5th, 2023, and I'm in the way again. Yeah, there we go. Here comes the hype. This is my second show. It's a monthly review of February, a preview for March, and there's me. I'm Stephen C. Drummer, the Big Dividend Hunter. I'm going to do this quick. I went over it pretty quick in my first episode. You can go back and look at that. There's me and my brand. Oh, this is a headshot of me. There's me and my brand. There's my home. There's my garage. I work during the week as a freight expediter. That's the van I use, exact color and configuration. It's got 381,000 miles on it now. Last month, when I did my show, it only had 378,000. So I've put a few miles on since. The company, there's my root organization, marketing branch, investing branch, my LLCs. And I'm on Facebook and YouTube as the Big Dividend Hunter. Tell your friends. This is a public domain picture of a valley in India, but I use it to represent the valley that we're in, the stock market. Stocks laying all over the place. That's the trees. A little bit of water down here at the bottom. And there's the future way in the back. And we're trying to find gems, dividend gems and whatnot. That's sort of my company logo. It's my desktop picture right now, and it's what I use on my business card and everything else. My big disclaimer, figured out I better put one of these in. Let me shrink down here. I'm not a professional in any capacity with any entity connected to any stock market entity. I provide information. You must do your own study and research and make your own decisions. The Big Dividend Hunter contains statements and statistics that have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, and most of the time they are. But they are not guaranteed as to their accuracy and completeness. You're going to have to make sure that whatever number shows up is actually the real number. References to any specific securities does not constitute an offer or a recommendation to buy or sell securities. The past performance of any particular security or investment strategy cannot in any way guarantee its future performance. You should consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. Or, you got to do your homework. And that's what the big guns say. I'm going to expand out here. Let's move on. This is what I do. I'm going to shrink back down. I got no aura courses to offer, no books to sell. I don't got no wild story. I do dividend investing, looking for the best monthly and quarterly returns. I build and sell useful charts. I hope they're useful, released as needed. There's no subscriptions, membership fees, buy as you want. Try to pass on useful information to make everyone a better investor, aka more money in your pocket. And I'm only on Facebook and YouTube, none of those other platforms. And you can find me, type in the Big Dividend Hunter. And what are we all looking for? Value, growth, and income. You can read the rest. My goals: to enlighten, to encourage, share my experience. Hopefully you'll share yours with mine. Entertain, and you can entertain me possibly. If you got something that looks good, the rest of us can take advantage of. Share it with me. I'll research it, and if it bears fruit, we'll put it on. My style of investing, or my investing style. Dollar cost averaging. I buy every 2 weeks or save up my money for big purchases every month or so. Buying on the dip right now in this bear market, we know that's pretty difficult. Bargain basement buying. Hey, that's what made Buffett and Munger what they did, looking for value, growth, dividend. especially when the market takes a major downturn. There are strong companies that will survive that downturn. Those are the ones you probably want to get. And windfall purchases. I got my income tax refund coming. Guess where it's going? Right into my portfolio. Bonus work, and I have a couple of side hustles, and occasionally get gift money for doing favors for people. It's a wonderful life. My mantra right now is 2 statements. Quality comes at a minimum price. Don't overpay for it. And from Ramsey, and a lot of other people are quoting this. I'm going to add my name to the list. Live like no one else today so you can live like no one else tomorrow. The big thing right now is all these frugal living videos on YouTube. And a lot of them are helpful. Take a look. Save $1 here, $1 there, and put it in investments, and when the time comes, you'll be well taken care of. Okay, dividends, the mechanics of it all. There's 5 parts. Like I said, go back to episode 1 if you want to know everything I say about this. But all these parts have to work, especially on the pay date. That occurs from the actual date to 7 to 9 calendar days after the pay date. That's been my experience. This March, all of them have paid by the 3rd. I got one waiting. I imagine it's going to pay on Tuesday the 7th. But don't count on the money showing up on the pay date, so you can use it the day after. Do some budgeting. My favorite dividend websites are NASDAQ, Dividend Investing, Dividend.com, and Stock Analysis. That's where I can get various aspects of information, dive deeper to see, if there's something that's worth my dollars. Company's got to meet my qualifications to get my dollars to use. So let's get to the good stuff, which is my Excel spreadsheets. On the tables, it shows only the important stuff. It's really the first step. It should get you looking in the right direction at something good. You can change data views using the sort function associated with each header. I'll show that off. And it's broken down into dividend pay groups. Those that pay yearly, quarterly, monthly, other weird periods, and it's all color coded. And the blue and light headers at the top of the columns. The user can change data in a cell. The gray colored areas have formulas and shouldn't be touched. If you see anything in lowercase entries, that's data I've had to input that I've gotten from a source somewhere and I've verified it elsewhere. Oops, we'll get to that later. Let's get out of here. And here it is. This is the thing I work on. It takes quite a few hours at the end of the month to get things together. And this is a disclaimer. If you'd like to donate, okay, always helps with the operating costs. I'm charging $5 for this thing. That's considered a donation. It goes to my marketing branch. And here's the stuff I've just been talking about. So let's switch over to March here. There we go. And you're going to see some color coding. You're going to see the symbol, stock, the exchange, and the symbol. This comes out of Excel, out of this data format here, out of this stocks thing, that I can convert symbols into stock information. And so does this price here. And there's a disclaimer up here that says information is provided as is and not for professional or trading purposes or advice. Well, I have found it to be rather accurate. You do need a pretty new version of Office to run this. I run Office 365, and from what I understand, you got to be running at least 2019. 2016 or older will not produce this information. So if you're running it, it may just show up as blank boxes, or they'll have information in it of like where it's got the information from. Anyway, this quote column is what this item was paying on the last day of the month. Consecutive increases, that can be helpful. 2 columns here for the dividend amount was the previous dividend in the previous period, depending on when it pays, and what the new one is. And these are the 2 most important columns, the rating columns. This provides a level field, so you can compare a quarterly, let's say, with one that pays every 9 months, or 12 months, or 4 months, or 8 months. Down here, there's one that pays 8 times a year. But this provides a level playing field through a simple math equation, nothing tricky. So you can compare apples to apples, even though one apple may be red and the other apple is green. So, as you can see on the USOI here, they paid $1.38 in February, or at the end of January, and here in February they paid $3.33. I'm going to talk about that one a little bit because you see it's highlighted in yellow. That means I own it. I have a stake in it. And position, everybody talks in this $10,000 position, and I provide how much dividend capture you might get in a year based on current numbers, because the numbers can always change on some of these stocks, and the required number of shares in order to have that. So if you have, let's say, a $2,500 position, we'll just type that in, that means you could get a projected income of around $1,246 for a year, holding the stock all year, and you need to hold 31.2, basically 32 stocks in order to achieve that. So let's get back to 10,000 just to make the math fun. Okay, now we're going to slide this over a little bit, and you're going to see that the stock markers stay out here. Nice feature of Excel, of being able to freeze the column. So you get over here, some of these places supply yield, this is a percentage, 22.5% for this UAN. The exchange that they're traded on, and a sector that they're in. Now, this is all in lowercase, so this is stuff I've had to add. And then the 4 important things you need to know. USI hasn't filled these in yet. A lot of other places have. Is the declare date, when they say the auction, or when they're declaring their dividend. The expire date, which is you got to have ownership by then, by the close of business on that day. The record date is when the company looks at who owns their stock, who are all the people that own it, and when they're going to pay it. So UAN is going to pay, had to own it by the 6th, which would be Monday, which would be real hard. Well, it expired on the 3rd, so you had to own it by the 3rd, which was last Friday, and when they're going to pay it. And this one's got a special dividend, March. Oh, okay. I put some notes out here. Sometimes I don't remember my own notes. Oh, okay. And then it's going to be 6 cents a share after in April. So these 2 in here are special payments. Something you just got to look for. You know, you got BRY down here who's cut their dividend by 3 cents. And you can roll this down. I see some more stuff of mine. I got some stuff in Cornerstone. These are 2 sisters. And I go down, I got some OXLC. These ones in light brown are ones I'm looking at. They've intrigued me. I'm doing further research. I may buy into them this month. I may let them set just to see what they do for another month. Own some OPP. Own some RIV. Yes, and I own some R yield and Q yield. I got into them when they were hot, but they've proven to be a pretty good workhorse. 19 cents a share out of R yield per month. and 16.7 cents out of Q yield per month. And they've lost a little value during this big downturn, but the amount of shares I gain each month, I sort of look at it and go, well, okay. When it comes back up, I should be sitting pretty well. Now this USOI is a strange bird. You see it's $82 if you look at the per share. If you look at my other stuff, 766, 809, 582, 861, 1189, 1937, 1664. You can see that I sort of buy the low-end stocks that perform well. I'm able to buy more shares, which means my dividend coming in each month buys me a lot of shares, and it's a decent amount. It's a goal. You know, hitting the goals that I'm aiming for. Now USOI had a contraction last September, I think it was, where they contracted 20 shares to 1 share. This used to be like a 5 1/4 share, $5 a share, and as you can tell, at $82, 20 to 1 contraction. I owned nearly 1,000 shares. So, but it's been a good performer. This is the wild one. It's an ETN, which operates a little bit different, and it varies month to month. And right now, it's like last month, it was $3.33. It's been coming back. There was a point where it was down to below $1, and one of the websites reports its range as being like $1.25 to $5.35 a share per month. It's been a good performer. I'm just letting it sit in my portfolio and gather shares every month. And that's just the way it is. So as you can see down here at the bottom, I've got it divided up somewhat. Here, I'm going to switch over. These are for dividends that pay 1, 2, or 3 times a year. And when you're looking at these ratings, anything above a 10 really gets my attention. 9s sometimes do. When it starts getting down to 8s, it's iffy. Because the way this equation works, it's nothing fancy. Just click on the box there, and you can go up here and you can see what cells I'm using in order to generate this number. And you can see what cells it's using. You can see the equation. It's no trade secret. So the other big one, and I also include the count of how many stocks are in there. There's 137 in this one. Let's go over to dividends by 4 a year. 571. It's very popular. Sometimes it beats out monthly, and sometimes monthly beats it out. As you can see, there's some orange ones, or light orange, light brown, whatever color this is, that have gotten my attention. I've done some research on them. I'm looking to probably put some dollars into it. I'm going to look at them for another month, and then decide what to do. That's the nice part about this dividend investing. You don't have to jump on something right away. If it's a good, solid company with good legs, as they say, it's offering a good dividend, and they've got a good history, and they're solid, you can wait a month. It won't hurt anything. Or you might want to follow it for a month, and halfway through the month you decide to buy something. But I'm giving you information so that you can make an intelligent, an informed decision. Because I was looking on one of my websites the other day, and I asked it through its filters, how many companies out there offer dividends? There was almost 8,400. And then I narrowed it down. How many offer a dividend of 10% or greater? That narrowed down to something like only 400. And on this report, there's 911 altogether for this month. So you got to pare the field down so you're not wasting a bunch of time looking at stuff that isn't going to work for you. So let's continue on here. And here's 5 through 11 dividends a year. There's 86 of them. There's a few over the 10 threshold that I work with. They might be worth looking into. But this narrows your field down. It makes things easier. You might find this Berry Corporation is just exactly what you've been looking for in an investment. And then you can slide your windows around, make things nice. Instead of trying to look through 8,400. It's all together one basic layout. And then we get into our monthlies. That's where I've started investing, and I'm still investing. And as you can see on here, the 3 best monthlies I already have: number 5, 6, 7, number 8, number 11, and down here 18 and 19. This is another ones that I'm looking at. They look interesting. When you see lowercase letters, this means I had to put the basic information in. Where's my Q yield? It's down here a little bit, I think. Where'd it go? That's not that far down. Where'd it go? Well, I know it's here somewhere. Well, I know Q yield and R yield is in here. I may have to put them in again. So anyway, and then there's the last column. These are ones that pay 12 or more a year, and that can get pretty crazy. Let's see who the winner is this year. We got this month. We got one paying 23 dividends in a year. The Stellus Capital Investment Corporation, SCM. There's only 2 of them that are above a 10. They, got to narrow things down. So, I don't know where my Q yield got to. Oh well, that happens. I'll look again. So anyway, these other ones, they got, long histories. The CRF, CLM, OPP, and RIV, they all cut their dividend at the beginning of the year. But I already owned a bunch of shares, so I'm just sitting on them. The Buffett and Munger routine of sitting on them, buying at the bottom, and seeing what happens. So let's go from here. So last slideshow for the show today. Where do I stand as of March 1st, 2023? Well, I'm still about 10.3% in the red. Things have been improving January and February. February I was down 14.9%. So I've come up a little bit in February, even with all the thrashing around. And I'd like to think that I made some good decisions. I'm sticking with them. And hopefully I can help you. So if you decide to make a donation, want to get the stuff, when you go to the address, this is what you'll see on your web page, and then just follow the prompts. So I've had a good time today, and I hope you have too. And you know where to find me. So I'll be back in a week. I'm going to do a weekly review next Saturday or Sunday, and we'll see how things are going. You all have a good week, We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.